Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be sharing a video of how I made those little trays or bowls or whatever you want to call it. In fact, the last couple of videos you must have seen me make like a make a small, rather have a small tray where I just tend to use them as like just to hold beads or something like that. And there were a couple of them who asked me about how I made that, so I decided to actually go ahead and make a small video on that. This is so simple. I mean, I think all of you can do it because it barely requires any tools, and you just need like your workboard, a rolling pin, and a good lump of clay. And I'll also be using some of so I usually tend to use these kinds of stamps. I make these. I've already uploaded a video on how I have made I think I've uploaded a video on how I've made this. So I would use this to basically design just to add some more variety to it. So let's start. This is a big lump of clay that I have, and I would just roll the slab of the thickness of roughly about 0.5 centimeters. And yeah, I think this is a good amount of thickness. We'll just smoothen it out. Okay, the lines and all that is because my rolling pin well has some dried bits of clay, and that's something that I didn't remove, but there's always a solution to that. I'll use my Fettling knife here, and it works like magic. And there you go. So what we can begin doing is, I mean, if you're looking at something which is very specific in terms of a size or a shape, then you can use anything like a bowl in your kitchen or anything of that sort. If you're trying to make something small, like me, I would probably look at something about this big. I think it's roughly about 3.5 inches, and I would just go on to cut it out. Gently remove it out. I have done both ways. I would just cut a freestyle, probably a shape on the outer one, and going by this you can make out that this is not going to be a very big bowl. It's going to be a small one, maybe to just hold a few pieces while you're assembling, like a small chain or something like that, or anything. You can just hold it. It can be used as a small jewelry dish or anything of that sort. So what now is, I have some prints of some fingerprints on the clay. I would just remove that off. And now what we can do is actually begin designing it. So I'll just use some of these stamps. Feel free to go all out with terms of designing, because it's totally your call. These work so amazing. I mean, and the fact that you've actually done it makes it even more it's nicer. So I'll use the leaf one now. Probably just do a little bit of a thing in the edges. And currently the clay is at a very moist state. So my suggestion would be to at least let it sit for a little while before actually doing any kind of stamping work, because currently it's so wet that I won't be able to even fold it and make it into a bowl. So it'll be better if you just let it sit for a while, maybe just a couple of minutes, not more than that. You don't want it so dry that the moment you turn it's just going to break. So that's that, and we'll use this one maybe for the center and see how that comes out. So I typically, I really like that. Doesn't that look like super? I remember making this just with like with just my pen cap and these parts of a pen, and then a knife, I think, or a wooden tool or something like that. Yeah, so that's that. Well, what else? yep, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's space for me to really do anything else to it. So I might just make like little circles. And we can just use a little, I'm just using the back end of the brush here. There you go. So I have an extremely filled up piece of slab here, and we'll just wait till this about, see, you can see that it's so wet that it's, you know, it's not even able to hold on to its own form. So we'll just wait for a little while, and what we'll end up doing next is we'll just use our hands and kind of fold towards the edges. Now you can be super creative with this. That is, if you're looking to make this into a bowl, it necessarily does not have to be just a round, simple, straightforward bowl. Now for something like this, again, I'll repeat, my suggestion would be that you please leave this out at least for a few minutes before molding the shape. Okay, but what I'd like to show you is, I'll just make a little bit of a form here. I'll just press it down like this over here. I'll do the opposite side. We'll do this way, this one, and this one. So you can use a little bit of water, and what I'll do is I'll just smoothen out the edges. This is just water, this is not oil. Don't get too used to using oil in general. I mean, it's just not the best habit in my opinion. So for it to basically stay in place, it's very necessary that the clay has to kind of, it has to at least be a little bit on the slightly on the drier side, because what will happen if it is too moist is that it'll keep falling flat. It'll not stay up, and that's the disadvantage. So this is it. We can obviously try and do like a bunch of designs at the edges, or anything you want. In fact, what I'll do is, you can try and do something like that, and there you have a really, really nice, I think a multifunctional kind of a piece here, really decked up, and it's got so much of work on the sides and the center. It's so pretty. There you go. That's it. I really hope you like this video, everyone, and you found this video useful. If yes, then please like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you.